are the Stop Wearing My Clothes podcast. I'm Kayla.
I'm Amy. One podcast.
Two sisters. This is episode 40, which we should do something cool for episode 100. This is going to be the Bachelorette recap week 6, the week before hometown. So a lot goes down. But before that, we're so excited because Monday was our 1-year podcast anniversary. And you will notice if audio or YouTube listeners, we have all new branding, profile pictures, podcast cover art, cover photos, all of our socials and podcast stuff. So we're really excited. We were excited about how the pictures turn out, and let us know what you think of our new podcast cover art.
Yes, and if you've only listened to us, then you need to go onto our social accounts to see the beauty that we released.
Agreed. And then just reminding you guys for our schedule, Bachelorette recaps every Wednesday. Today we did 1 day late, this week I mean, so it is Thursday when you're getting this, but usually Wednesday. But we have lives, so sometimes things have to move around. And before we get into it, just something I wanted to talk about since it got brought up on the Bachelorette from the group date, Gabby's group date. Amy, what is your safe word?
I've literally never thought of this before.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't have a safe word.
I don't think we do. For some reason.
What happens if you need a safe word? You never need it?
I just say stop.
Oh,
or no thanks. No, thank you.
No thanks. But I have one if you want.
Oh no, I think I would choose peacock.
All right. With the innuendo of the dong, peacock.
Well, it's the first thing that pops in my head, so think what you will.
All right. Mine is Mary Poppins. And the reason why I thought it was so funny, because I don't know if this is like a specific childhood memory I have. So we're going from safe words to childhood memory. That whenever, like, you know how, kids get taken, right? So your parents like tell you a secret code word. So even if like one of my best friends or someone picks you up from school when you didn't know that they were going to, you only get in the car if they tell you a specific password and you get in the car. Do you remember Mom saying that and her giving
ours was Mary Poppins?
It was right? Mary Poppins. So I would, as a child, getting picked up from elementary school, if someone other than my mother showed up and they did not say Mary Poppins, I would not get in that car. So I just moved it over to my sex life, and it works really well.
That, I think, requires some therapy, number one. Number two, I take back the peacock thing because that could get confusing if you didn't hear the P and then we're like real confused. Yeah. So never mind, I erased that.
No thank you works fine.
Yes.
No thank you. Moving on to some reality TV news, not Bachelor, but a lot of people, like there's a lot of crossover, people who watch Bachelor and people who watch Love is Blind. And we have the first Love is Blind divorce this week. Just this morning, Ayanna and Jarrett I called him Jared on the TikTok. I'm hoping no one notices, but Jarrett just announced in a joint statement that they are no longer going to be married. And it's sad.
It is sad.
I never had a great feeling about those two.
No, I think they wanted it a lot.
Yeah,
I will say,
agreed.
like, they did, but I don't think their lives fit together.
I agree. So, and even Ayanna, like Love is Blind Netflix posted like a little picture of them just saying, oh, thank you for everything, sending you love and everything. And she commented like, oh yeah, this divorce is not bad. We love each, it's like all good. So that's at least good. It's not like some nasty divorce that we're going to be getting, hopefully, fingers crossed. It is interesting. After the Altar, I think, is going to be coming out in the next couple months. I don't know exactly. So are they going to be married on After the Altar? And then season 3 is coming up, and with the first like divorce in the franchise, I just think it's going to be interesting.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to people's pain, I guess. It's terrible to say, the drama of it.
The Altar was good. Okay. Bachelor news. This is what you're really here for. A little Nate update. We talk about it a little bit in our recap that's coming shortly in a few minutes. And essentially what has happened is Mike Fless is now tweeting about Nate. He has never, about scandals outside of the actual like show, Mike Fless has never tweeted about or like backed someone. There are several tweets that Mike Fless is talking about and standing up for Nate, and even like referred to like the women who stepped forward, of calling them like these women. And I don't know, Mike Fless, like, it was weird, and it just solidifies the fact that this really threw the franchise for a loop, because they were planning on Nate being the Bachelor. Like, it's not even a question.
You think he's like already started, so they can't go back? I think
he was seriously in the works. I know I'm 99% positive. What is today? Today, that we're filming this on Wednesday, but almost exactly a week ago, last Thursday, they filmed the Men Tell All, and I'm 99% positive they're going to say who's the Bachelor. So they have chosen, I think, at this point. The way that the Bachelor franchise and the creator is reacting to this Nate drama, 100%, there is a chance he's going to be the next Bachelor. Like, I'm hoping not, and I'm hoping they do maybe a last-minute switcheroo, especially with, like, I don't know, Ethan just had his standout episode, right? But there is a chance, I think. And for those who don't know the Nate drama, just watch our last recap or go on our TikTok, Stop Wearing My Clothes pod. We get the full lowdown.
Yeah, but I will just to comment on that a tiny bit, is like these women that have come out saying that they dated him and have been cheated on, like he was dating multiple women at the same time. Like, I don't know how they can defend that. Did the podcast come out yet? Where it's like
not yet. So we know that Nate is going, I don't know if it's Nate or his friend Dustin, who is co-hosting the podcast with Peter Weber on Bachelors in the City, but there's going to be some type of Nate side of the story on the Bachelors in the City podcast this week. I have not seen it yet, but as soon as they do, I'm on it.
And is that a part of the Bachelor franchise, like podcasts?
No.
Okay,
which is interesting.
That it does matter to me.
It does matter 100%. I'm 99% positive they aren't, because they actually just recently She's All Batch and Bachelors in the City just did like a joint episode last week. So I don't think they would do that with like a Bachelor franchise one. But yeah, so we're still, and then Nate went home this week. We'll go more into that on the recap. So it's just all really up in the air with Nate right now. I don't know what's going to go on.
I give him a thumbs down.
Yeah, we'll see. Next, we have Caitlin and Jason. I kind of talked to you about this other day, Amy. Do you want to take it?
So Jason and Caitlin, I think Caitlin made a comment that made it seem like they were postponing their wedding, and so everybody's thinking that they are broken up. But Caitlin came out and said there was never a date set. Like, we did say something about maybe like wanting to get married on New Year's, but it was never set. We never found a venue. We never did anything to move forward because we haven't agreed on a place to have it and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know. I mean, I believe her and I believe all that, but at the same time, I've just recently, I feel like they've just been a little off. I mean, it's like social media though, so who knows, but
she travels so much. So it's possible they just haven't even had enough time together to plan a wedding, but I have a little bit of a bad feeling, but I'm hoping it'll pass. I think Caitlin says they're fine. The postponing of the wedding has nothing to do with their relationship. We'll see.
I know, but just how much did she say her and Sean were fine for so long?
That's true too. Yeah, I mean, Caitlin and Jason are a Bachelor golden couple, so
I love them and I want success. So hopefully it's just they've been busy. This is a busy time in both of their lives. They've still been doing collabs for their wedding, like being engaged couple. It's probably nothing.
And wedding planning is no joke. We've both done it, so.
And it can cause tension. That doesn't necessarily mean that
they're
going to break up.
And then I have another kind of scary thing with Claycy going on. If you guys don't know, we have been loving Clayton and Susie, even though it was a rough start, but they've really grown on us. We love them. But they were just on a podcast, Not Fat, but Not Skinny, that big podcast. I think I said it right. And said that Clayton and Susie have decided to move to separate states. Right now they live together. And she's going to be moving to LA and he is going to be in Scottsdale. because they both are pursuing their passions and their dreams. And they said that they aren't broken up. They're just going to try long distance for a while. But when I listened to the clip, I didn't like it. It's worrisome.
Taking a step back from your relationship is never a good sign.
I think so too.
Like I guess they're not even engaged. It's a little different thing.
Yeah, and they said how like he was kind of mentioning how casual it kind of is, and that she has stuck by him through like all the stuff that they've gone through. But even if they are a relationship for 1 month or for a lifetime, they will always be okay or something. I don't know. I'll send you the clip because it made me really scared.
I love them. That's
so I mean, they're still together, but living in different states is not great. That's probably worse than postponing your wedding. So Caitlin and Jason and Clayton and Susie, let's send them all of the love energy we can, because I can't survive one of those breakups.
No.
All right. And so do you have anything else to say, or are we going to go straight into the recap?
No, let's recap it up, and then we got a fun game, and then we'll see you next week. All right, so this is Bachelor recap for week 6. It was kind of like a little bit of a sad week, I feel like. There was a lot of... It was. Well, at least for Gabby's side.
Well, that's what I keep seeing is like once every other week, it's one of them. So it's like Rachel's sad one week, Gabby's sad the other week. I guess they like just have to have that drama, but like, why can't they be happy always?
I don't know, but I feel like, I guess that's just not how love works. Okay, so the episode pretty much started with Nate's one-on-one date.
Yeah, can I tell you one of my favorite parts of the whole episode that started within the first 3 minutes?
Sure.
Jesse Palmer goes up to the girls in Amsterdam who are both sitting down chatting, and Jesse like goes in for a hug, and she just kind of, Gabby just kind of pats, and then Rachel gets up and ends up moving seats. And as she's hugging Jesse Palmer, she's like, "Sorry, I don't want to get up."
Yeah.
I just think that it kind of reminds me of like the Phoebe episode on Friends, or the Phoebe quote of like, "Oh, I would, but I just don't want to." Like, I just thought it was like, she didn't want to get up for him, and she doesn't have to. She's the lead, and Jesse should remember that.
There you go.
That made me so happy.
Every episode, there is at least something that Gabby says that gets me.
She's amazing. She's amazing.
Yeah, so I feel like we definitely called it. Literally last week, if you listen to our recap, we were like, she's probably going to send Nate home because she's not ready to be a mom. And I thought it would probably be right before hometowns because she wouldn't want to involve the kid. It was very sad.
It was sad, and I wish I could enjoy it more without the outside Bachelor Nation drama. It just skewed kind of the whole scene for me. Another thing... like exactly like we're going to talk about in the intro on Nate. So you guys have already listened to it, but we haven't recorded it yet of Bachelor news because lots is going on with Nate. And I thought it was just piled up on top of that it was, okay, you could have, there's been breakups before of like right before like some type of breakup for a reason. And they just like go to the hotel room or they go to the cruise ship lobby or something and have a breakup conversation. The fact that she went into the one-on-one, like, I think she already knew she was going to get rid of him. So giving a whole one-on-one to Gabby just for him to break up when she could have been progressing some of her other relationships only proves more to me that they're giving Nate the Bachelor edit and the Bachelor exit to set him up. Like, Nate was their plan, or still might be. Things are up in the air. I don't know what's going to happen. But it just proved to me more that they are sticking by their man.
Wow. All right. Well, I'm not completely updated, but I will be soon by you. So, yeah, I feel like definitely as I was watching that, like I was sad because of how emotional Gabby was. Like she was like really emotional. But then also because of all the drama with Nate, I was like, well, good. I'm glad she chose to get rid of him.
God.
I'm glad it's going the way it did. Also, I actually really liked, I don't feel like I've seen this that often. Gabby went back to the guys and really emotionally, like, basically was explaining, like, how hard it was for her to let him go and why. So they weren't wondering.
Awesome.
Yeah, no, and just being super vulnerable and, like, giving them the opportunity to know and see how it's affecting her and offer her support. Just the whole thing, I was like, that's the way to do it. I liked it.
100% I agree. Like, there's actually a meme of like, I want 5 boyfriends to come home to vent about my day.
Yeah.
That'd be great. 5 Marcuses just have palm leaves feeding me grapes.
Yeah, and then Jason's like, can I hug you? And they're like, yeah, we all want a hug.
I know. It's so awkward, but it's not at the same time. It was cool, like, if you compare it to, like, Rachel's guys, I just always feel like she's leaving them hanging, and, like, in the question mark, I feel like Gabby is really actually talking to them, and they're part of that together. I totally forgot. Actually, it might have been Nick Vial, which I know people aren't a super big fan of, but I saw a clip of one of his Bachelor recaps, and that Rachel is so focused on her love story and the Bachelorette love story she's supposed to have that she's like almost like self-sabotaging these relationships because they aren't exactly what she thought a Bachelorette lead should have, versus Gabby is more of like two-way relationships and seeing it as their love story just as much as hers. And I feel like that's where, like, I think they're just perspectives are a little bit different, and that's what's causing them to kind of be a different outlook on things.
Yeah,
that was interesting.
That is an interesting way to think of it, and I see that for sure.
Yeah.
So next we moved into Rachel's one-on-one with Zach, which I just love them.
They're super cute.
I think that they are so cute. And it was hilarious because me and Jared were watching it, and they were making out a lot. Sure. And I looked at Rachel's face. Her whole chin was so red. And I don't know if any girls have been victimized by the man beard or the scruff when they just shave it. But I was just like, relatable.
100%. After I make out with Marcus, my whole face is like beet red because my skin's already sensitive. I guess it's kind of like a natural exfoliant for skincare.
I'm just like, that's embarrassing. Like, at least it was a one-on-one, but like, that sucks that these guys definitely know, like, okay, she's just making out. Like, their faces make out.
Totally. They have to. But yeah, I thought like nothing really big happened. I always wanted to do the tulips in Amsterdam, but like there's actually near Anacortes, which is near where we grew up, like there's actually like kind of something similar, like a big tulip like festival thing you could go to. We need to go one time.
Well, actually, me and Jared have gone. There's one, not the one there, but there's one in Oregon. It's the Wooden Shoe Tulip Festival. Same exact thing.
Ooh, I've always wanted to do it.
Places, and it's actually not that far. It is really pretty.
So cool. All right. Yeah, there's really nothing to talk about. I would say.
Yeah, I would just say he just seems very genuine, very open. Opened up about his story in life. We like learned a little bit more about him. And he dropped the L word.
Yes, the first. We had 2 this episode, and Zach was the first one.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely think like, and I believe him. Like he's in it hard. So for some reason, I don't think Rachel's gonna pick him, but I want him to, I don't know. Do you even remember who was my top 2? I said Tino and did I say Tino and Zach or Tino and Tyler?
I think you did say Tino and Zach.
Tino and Zach. Okay, we'll see. We'll see about it.
But
I mean,
I see that too because, okay, I feel like everything's there, but maybe there's just a teeny spark or something just in the way that Rachel talks.
I agree.
That maybe makes me think she won't pick him, but there's still time.
Yes, agreed.
Because also in the preview, it seemed like their hometown goes really well. So that could be kind of like the game changer for her.
Yeah, hometowns can change a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I was a little tipsy while I was watching the show. And so my notes are extra hilarious. And then underneath the Rachel and Zach one-on-one, I just put windmill PTSD. because we've got a windmill during their episode 2 in Amsterdam. So just a little shout out to Hannah B, and Peter Weber. Much needed. So yes, the first falling bomb. I also have a note that I don't know what it refers to, just called Jean Queen. I'm assuming maybe that's one of their outfits. Speaking of the outfits, though, I thought this was the worst week of all time, in my opinion.
Big old poofy red arms.
The poofy red arms. I couldn't. And then she has another date where she wears the black one shoulder poofy. Like they're just trying to like shove it in her face. Poofs for life.
I think it must just be like, I'm in Europe and that's what I feel like. Like, yeah. When else am I going to be able to wear this? I don't know.
Yeah. Carrie Fettman, the Bachelorette stylist, posted that because he always posts like the different outfits and stuff because that's like what he does, you know? And in the caption is like, I know you guys all think Rachel, I hate Rachel, but she like, I thought it was funny. He's listening. Oops. Sorry, Carrie, if you saw one of my videos.
Okay. Sure. So this was my favorite part of the entire episode.
Me too.
Well, you already said yours. You said it was fun.
I have so many favorite parts.
Well, Gabby group date. So they're all like kind of walking slow, like kind of being silly, whatever they're doing. And she's like, give mama a hug. And I have said that. Like I say stuff like that. So I loved it so much. It was so good.
It was amazing. And that will be part of our game. That is your Gabby quote. So stick around for the fun game we're going to play. I was talking also like, yeah, that like quote was funny, but I loved her group date. I thought it was hilarious. It's very mixed reviews online, but I thought it was hilarious. And she is like, I think it's very obvious that she's very comfortable talking about sex and like,
that's like, it's like kind of finding humor in pretty much everything too. So.
Exactly. It's hilarious. And the guys needed to come through on this date if they were going to be a good match for Gabby, in my opinion.
Yeah. And even though Jason was like, this is my worst nightmare, which I totally knew the whole time, but they all like totally pulled through and like made it fun. Johnny for sure, but
I love Johnny. I think he was the one who did like the hot, she poured hot candle wax on him and it, like he freaked out and she was licking like whipped cream off of them. It was a moment.
Yeah. She sprayed into Johnny's mouth and he grabbed her and
I would too. I get it. And Gabby loves whipped cream because we just had that Eric moment last week, right? With so whipped creams, I mean, I'm sure maybe it's just like on her bedside table at all times.
I feel like this episode, like, obviously, because a lot of different things happened, but like her guys just disappeared. And then all of a sudden I'm like, whoa, these are the only ones left.
I know. It's the weirdest thing. I'd always talk about memes, but I saw another meme that I shared that's just like, okay, Bachelorette told us that we were going to get double of everything with these 2 Bachelorettes. But I think it's literally 2 halves of a love story. Like instead of its own. Like it's hard to even like follow up and see what's going on. And then all of a sudden hometowns are next week. There's 8 hometowns.
No, there's actually only 7.
7. Okay.
So 3.
So 7 hometowns. Are they going to fit it in 1 week? That can't be right. Are they going to do part 1, part 2, like all like a full Rachel hometown and a full Gabby? Are they going to? I have so many questions.
Yeah, and like you said before, I think they just really wasted that Nate date because I don't think that I feel like Gabby should have had a one-on-one date. She didn't have a one-on-one date, really, right?
No, they had a one-on-one just to fill the space so that we could see Nate's story and set him up for Bachelor. 100%.
Yeah, and I think that should have been used for something much better than that.
Totally agree.
Okay, so the group date was funny. Then things kind of took a turn because it was like it would have been such a good lead up into a after party.
Totally.
Like, for sure. Like I had such a good day and then like they were ready to get deeper at the end of the night and all the guys were like in a good headspace. It was really good. But then Logan got COVID and so they couldn't do the group date, which actually still kind of confuses me, but I guess I just don't understand how that works because they were all just together. So
it's all so weird. And the fact is, okay, so Gabby was literally licking whipped cream off of his nipples hours before, being with everyone, like I've actually, I don't know if people know this about me, but I've like worked in production before. I've been on productions for commercials, like behind the scenes. I know all like, and all during COVID time too. So I know the different protocols. That would be shut down so fast. The whole production would have been shut down. There's no possible way. And then let's say Tino got it, or Jason, like one of the front runner ups. What would have happened then? And it's also weird. So I like looked into, and then also on top of that, Mike Fless, the show's creator, either liked or retweeted a tweet like pushing this kind of conspiracy theory of like, oh, but Logan this, Logan that. So pushing it. And then I saw a Zach Reality video that said 100% Logan had COVID. And they're just like, they did it so weird just to create a storyline and a COVID storyline after like millions of people have died. And they're like trying to make this into like a weird drama moment by like just pulling him off the boat and like not even saying goodbye. Like, but then in the I have so many issues. And then in the sneak preview for this episode, before the episode aired, we see Jesse talking to Logan saying, oh, Gabby was in tears. You have to pack your bags. We never even saw some type of goodbye thing. It was just weird. So apparently he did have COVID, but nothing makes sense. That's my synopsis.
No, I agree. I was very confused by the whole thing, but I guess we just need to move on because there's nothing like, there's no way to know.
Yeah, whatever. Let's see.
So next was Rachel's group date, which was
I loved her group date too. Really good group date.
I don't know why. So it ended up being the last two was Tino and Ethan. I don't know why that shocked me. Like, I feel really like we were looking at all their bodies and their like muscles and stuff. I was like, wow.
I think they all have like aesthetic muscles, like not real muscles. Yes. Like Tino's a general contractor. He lifts wood. He like builds houses, maybe. I don't know anything about him. And then Ethan, he does like, he's more fit than Tino, I would say, like physically looking, but I was really rooting for Ethan. But then Tino won Cheese King. And it totally reminded me of the moment of The Office with like Hay King, like the whole hay festival, except with cheese. But I was disappointed. Ethan should have gotten it. But that really just spiraled into Tino being a real baby bitch. Is that what it's called? What did
baby back bitch?
Ethan called Tino a baby back bitch, and this is why.
I feel like you have more negative feelings about Tino than I do. I do definitely see that he is kind of entitled and maybe it's almost like I do think that his feelings are genuine, for sure.
Okay.
I think he's emotionally immature.
Yes.
And I think that he thinks it's not a game, but it's like if he performs well enough, then he deserves something for it.
I took down quotes because I was so appalled. He was like, I hit it out of the park. I literally think I'm her person. It looked like I lit up her world. Those are all Tino quotes that just made me like vomit. They were super ick.
Yeah, that's actually hilarious because I don't normally do that, but I did too. He said, I hit all the points. I crushed it. I'm like, that sounds like it's a game.
Yeah. And I've sensed this from him for weeks. I feel like I was one of the first people that like everyone is so on the Tino train. And I'm just like, I don't like it. I think Tyler deserved. First of all, Tyler gets the group date rose, and
which shocked me for some reason. I'm not saying he didn't deserve it or anything, but it did shock me, and it made me happy because I'm like, oh, she does like feel for him. Like to make that's like a big move for someone that hasn't had a one-on-one because he hasn't had a one-on-one.
To not have a one-on-one and be going to hometowns, has that even ever happened?
Okay, but they did have the dinner alone.
That's true. They had like a half of one at least. That's true. That's true.
Because I think if that wouldn't have happened, then I don't think he'd still be there. Because you have to have that opportunity or you can't progress.
Agreed. Yeah, you're probably right. I totally forgot about that. And I guess, having uninterrupted one-on-one time,
Yeah, and it was very good. I remember he is very, very good at making her feel like she is the only one that he sees and wants, and like notices her and makes her feel that way. Tino, though, I guess I just feel like she's really into him, though. That I still think that.
She is 100%. So, it's very possible that she's with Tino, but
he was like, oh, well, actually, no, though. The preview, that hometown, and I mean, they can trick us. They do.
I know. It's hard to, like, any sneak preview to take it seriously these days.
But the Tino one did look pretty bad.
Maybe it's going downhill.
Another thing about that was the way that he said, like, I can't remember exactly how he said it, but he was like, you know me, I'm just, like, they're going to have to deal with it. It was just kind of, like, showing that his personality is very, like, controlling and it should be his way or the highway. And that in a relationship is, I just could see Rachel getting caught up in a relationship that then she doesn't have a voice.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. And it's like when Rachel gave Tyler the rose, his response of like, seriously, congrats, man, and like storms off. And that's when he says all these things, goes off and does interviews talking to producers and then like making all the other guys wait. And that's when Ethan calls him a baby back bitch.
And he's like, you won, bro. And then Avon was like, yeah, to Ethan, you don't win anything and you're fine.
Little Tyler. Yeah, it was just like, ugh. And it reminded me of, like, on The Office and just the Chili's thing, like baby back, baby back, baby back. I got my Chili's baby back, bitch. That's what it reminded me of. It just made me like so obsessed with Ethan, and the internet's now obsessed with Ethan, and I think he's up for Bachelor. I think it's a possibility because Ethan left.
Wow.
And isn't going. And then we've never had an Asian Bachelor before, an Asian lead. It's long overdue. He's hilarious. He's handsome.
Wait, I want to go back to, I feel like we said something.
It's possible we said Bachelor. Yeah. Right when the cast photos came out. We'll have to go back. We'll have to go back in the archives for that one.
Yeah.
But
okay, so then pretty much it was well, we know Logan left, which that was not a good prediction in our head. We thought he was going to be a lot more trouble than he is, unless he comes back somehow.
Which is weird. That even makes it weirder, like the buildup of Logan, just to like throw him off the boat.
Yeah, but maybe they just had nothing else.
And then my biggest Jesse Palmer like issue of the week is then he goes into Gabby's group of guys and is just saying, yeah, we're gonna have to cancel the cocktail party because of an incident. Like, not even tell them that they were exposed to COVID.
But I think they knew. That's the thing.
It was all
because
weird.
They seemed like, oh, I just hope he's okay. So I mean, I think that it was very fake and weird, and I didn't like it
at all. Didn't like it at all. And I didn't like how Mike Fless perpetuated it on Twitter. It's just weird.
And I also just, since we were talking crap about Tino for a minute.
Yeah, please.
I don't like that he calls her an amazing lady.
I didn't like that either.
I hate it. I'm like, amazing woman.
Yeah, like, it's like you're talking about your grandmother.
Yeah, no. Don't. No. Okay, so then the episode ended with Gabby. Her hometowns are going to be with Johnny, Jason, and Eric. And Rachel's are going to be with Zach, Tyler, Tino, and Avon.
It's okay. So she has one more hometown than Gabby does.
Yes, because Gabby chose not to take Steven.
Spencer.
Darn.
Yes, so Spencer left. Spencer left on Gabby's guys and Ethan left on Rachel's guys. Ethan will be missed. I would have loved to meet his family, but we'll see him as the Bachelor or Bachelor in Paradise. I have no doubt.
I was just thinking, Bachelor in Paradise, that's already been filmed though. So like, are all these? It's going to be a long wait when normally they go right onto it.
No, so like the guys who have left Gabby and Rachel's season, this whole season, that's why they haven't done the casting, or is going to be on Bachelor in Paradise. So we'll see Gabby and Rachel's guys. Yeah.
I wasn't thinking right for a second. Sorry, this didn't just happen yesterday.
And then we have the sneak peek, but I don't even really care to talk about it because I'm kind of pissed at the sneak peeks right now because they're all lies.
Yeah, so let's just see what happens.
Let's see what happens, and now let's play the game with Gabby quotes. Keep listening or watching. All right, so the game we're going to play this week, and my hair is crazy, whatever, ignore it, is we're going to choose our 2 favorite Gabby quotes, and we are going to do that cool TikTok trend where you have to do it in the different voices of the emojis. So, Amy, I'm going to text you your emojis right now, and then we're also going to have the emojis up on the screen if you're watching on YouTube. So, might need to switch over to YouTube on this one, audio listeners. So, your Gabby quote is give mama a hug.
Okay. Give mama a hug. Give mama a hug. Give mama. I can't do it. Give mama a hug. Give mama a hug.
That was not what I was expecting.
Not the wizard.
I thought it was going to be like, oh, it's a witch. So I was going to be, give mama a hug.
Oh, gosh. Well, there you go.
Like a scary witch.
I was thinking like, Lumgardium Leviosa.
Yeah, I saw with the hand twitch.
Give mama a hug.
Very cute. Very cute. All right, so Amy's going to text me 5 emojis, and my Gabby quote is, sorry, I don't want to get up. Oh, gosh. She said some good ones. All right, so they're going to be on the screen, starting with the first one. Sorry, I don't want to get up. Honk, honk. Like clown has honk noses. I don't want to get up.
That is terrifying. We need to put
devil.
I know. So good job.
Okay. I don't want to get up. Beep boop, beep boop. That's a robot. I don't want to go.
Wait, what did you just do for that?
I don't want to get up. It's really morbid, this room, guys. Okay, last one. I don't want to get up. So, Gabby quotes with emojis. We're sorry. I'll move. All right, so if you enjoyed our recap, we actually do weekly recaps every Wednesday. It's out on YouTube, so subscribe and comment, and then it's also out anywhere you listen to podcasts, Apple, rate and review, all those things, so that it helps support us and pushes us forward to the next step.
And TikTok, we are super active on there, posting 3 times a day, and also on Instagram Reels. If there is news, you will find it there. Yes,
and Stop Wearing My Clothes Pod, and feel free to use the hashtag Stop Wearing My Clothes Pod as well. And then you can also email us at stopwearingmyclothespodcast@gmail.com for any Bachelor hot takes or just to say hi. A reminder that I am looking for guest co-hosts while Amy is on maternity leave for the Bachelor in Paradise season. So let me know who are your favorites, who you want to see. I already got a couple people who are tagging people on TikTok. So I'm excited to see who you want on the podcast, and that will be revealed shortly. And I think that is it.
Yep, have a great week.